It's a police department that has dealt with staffing shortages, but now the Golden Valley Police Department has added 2 new hires to its command staff. Assistant Chief Rudy Perez and Sergeant Tommy Eam were sworn in this week. Perez comes from Los Angeles and Eam comes from the Metro Transit Police Department. Their swearing in comes less than a week after the death of Sergeant Terry Slavin.
I was pretty welcome. I was warm. Even the firefighters, the American hero, I didn't know who they were. They came and shook my hands. I was overwhelmed.
Golden Valley has been short on patrol officers. The city has partnered with the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office to help cover shifts. CCX News had the opportunity to meet the new assistant chief. Reporter Sarah Allen caught up with him to explain how he moved from the Golden State to Golden Valley.
This will be my first time living out of California.
Golden Valley to Los Angeles may be more than 1,800 miles away.
This is my little office now.
But the location was pretty familiar for Rudy Perez.
Family was the number one thing. I've been flying back and forth into Minnesota for about 17 years.
An already established support network and the quality of life is what drew Perez to apply in Minnesota.
Hey, Chief, how are you? Good to see you, sir. Connected with Chief Virgil. They're like, hey, send us your stuff, your information, and happy to be selected.
Assistant Chief Perez has been on the job since the end of May.
Came from an agency that's very busy. I got to be part of the LA School Police Department back in Los Angeles. Has hundreds of police officers, and they manage 500,000 students, 34,000 employees. And there was a lot of experience there. So I want to bring that experience here. I'm a graduate of the FBI National Academy.
In LA, Perez dealt firsthand with the fentanyl crisis in schools. He wants to make inroads in communities here in Minnesota.
So as assistant chief, my main responsibility is patrol services. So anything that has to do with our community service officers and our patrol officers, that will fall under my direction.
Perez and his family immigrated to the U.S. from Guatemala. His background has helped shape him.
I want to have a country where people are safe and there's a quality of life and the ability to mentor, lead, and protect our children. Even in the challenges, you have to understand, why did I become a police officer?
And now he gets to be part of making the city a safe place for all.
I get up every morning and I pinch myself, because when you come to an organization like Golden Valley, it's well equipped. It has a beautiful facility. It has great staff.
In Golden Valley, Sarah Allen, CCX News.
Meanwhile, the Golden Valley City Council swore in its newest member this week. Sophia Guinness took her seat on the City Council this week. Guinness was appointed to the role last held by Kimberly Sandberg. Guinness served on the Planning Commission and is Director of Community Affairs for Metro Transit.
Think about the things that, like housing choice and good management, that really make it so that we can do more in the future to continue to bring the awesome services to our residents, like amazing parks, awesome trails, good services, and even things like streets that don't have potholes, right?
Her term runs through the end of the year. Many people wait for this time of year to get back outside and enjoy the warmer weather and all that Minnesota has to offer. But many dread the mosquitoes. As Rusty Ray reports, if you think they're worse this year than most years, you're not wrong.
They're back.
We were somewhat prepared, but then also there was some unpredictability with the rivers, and that overflowing created some standing water that we weren't able to respond to in time. So that's where a lot of the mosquitoes are coming from.
After 2 years of drought, and the thought is fewer places for mosquitoes to lay eggs, this year has been quite mosquito-y.
There are definitely some pockets where we're seeing way above average, and overall across the district, we're above the 10-year average. So people aren't totally imagining things. There are a lot of mosquitoes out right now.
And while you can't fly the helicopters the Mosquito Control District does to treat large areas, experts do recommend you do your part.
Keeping the grass short, keeping the vegetation from getting overgrown. Mosquitoes use those to hide out in, so they'll use your yard as a hiding spot if you don't, take care of it and kind of clean it up.
And
the biggest thing is remove standing water. Anything that is holding water, especially if it's dry for a couple of weeks like it's been, mosquitoes will find it and they will use it to lay their eggs in.
And speak up. If you're seeing more mosquitoes in a given spot, you can report it online.
Sometimes people find out about the hot spots before our traps do, and so it's good for us to get that information, because we'll go explore to figure out maybe there's a mosquito harborage area or there's a pond that's producing a lot more mosquitoes than we had initially predicted. So it's just good to get that information as another data point for us.
Because we're all in this together.
We also do a lot of ground treatments. We do, tire collections and removing standing water ourselves. We do a lot more than just the helicopter treatments. So we're trying to do our best to fix the problem.
Rusty Ray, CCX News.
Another tip, keep an oscillating fan blowing in an area where you like to be outside. Mosquitoes can't fly very well with a constant airflow. On Friday, you have a chance to enjoy a night out with your family that is more sensory friendly. The Plymouth Community Center will host the first of 3 sensory-friendly play nights on Friday night. Staff will limit capacity in the indoor playground and gymnasium, keep the lights dimmed, and not play loud music or have any PA announcements. The goal is to attract more families that may not come to enjoy the community center as often.
We see more and more places of business doing this, like movie theaters, the Science Museum, other places. So we thought we would start offering this sensory-friendly opportunity for families that might not be able to come to the community center and experience the facility otherwise.
The sensory-friendly activity is Friday from 4 until 8 p.m. The city asks that you register ahead of time. The cost is $5 for residents and $7 for non-residents. We'll put more information on our website, ccxmedia.org.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.